Yes, my dear friend, welcome back to the channel for this very special episode, special edition. Yes, it is a Thursday morning edition, ladies and gentlemen. Very good morning to you wherever you are around the globe, especially on the continent of Africa, in Europe, in America, in Canada, in Australia, in Dubai, Russia, anywhere you are. Dear friends, even right here in Asia, Malaysia to be precise. I'm glad, I'm excited to be here this very morning. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. Yes, remember to send your comments with your name and your location. Quickly, Premier League managerials' salaries or Premier League managers' salaries rank. I am starting on that note for you to see where our manager, Enzo Maresca, Chelsea's own manager, we used to have the highest paid manager in the Premier League. We used to be at a point, oh yes, not just once, not just twice. We used to be the highest paid manager. Chelsea used to have the highest paid manager in the Premier League. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, what is our position right now on the manager, the highest paid Premier League managers right now? It's what you can see right now on your screen. Pep Guardiola, £20 million per season. Mikel Arteta, £15 million. Unai Emery, £8 million. Eric Ten Hag, £6.75 million. And Slot, £6.2 million. Shane Dyche, £5 million. Ange Postecoglou, £5 million. Thomas Frank, £4.5 million. You have still not heard Chelsea yet, right? Enzo Maresca, you know, for you to know. Oliver Glasner, £4.5 million. Enzo Maresca is the 10th highest paid coach in the Premier League. How many teams are competing in the Premier League? 20 teams. Now, our own coach, Enzo Maresca, is the 10th highest paid head coach in the Premier League with £4.2 million. 4.2. Not even a quarter of what Pep Guardiola receives. Ladies and gentlemen, why did I bring this up? You see, it is a talking point as we speak, even on TalkSport. Why? Because it looks like Chelsea has now gone in for the cheap. I'm not talking about the manager's performance being the cheapest performances. No. I'm talking about Chelsea now recruiting people they know they will pay less. They can put on, how do you call it? Minimum wage, £18 an hour. Oh yes. In the UK right now, the minimum wage is £18 an hour. If you want to go to the UK, you receive £18 an hour. So if you work 8 hours a day, calculate this and see. My cameraman is calculating it. £18 an hour is the minimum wage. So how much is it? 18 times 8. 8 times 18. Ladies and gentlemen, 8 10 is 80, right? So you are going to be getting around what? Around £72 a day. If my math is still correct. But what I'm trying to say is that we have one of the cheapest when it comes to wages or salary for coaches. Enzo Maresca is on £4.2 million. It's of no news actually to me, because when we are placing players, when we have our players that are on £50,000, £45,000 a week, £60,000 a week, then it should be expected. But then, comparably, do you think this coach will be motivated enough seeing his colleagues like Mikel Arteta receiving times 3 or 4 of what he is receiving, competing against them? Will it be a motivation or will it be a discouragement? Will it be a motivation for him or it will be a discouragement? Well, he signed a deal knowing fully well what he wanted. Maybe he is also on performance-based salary. Maybe. My dear friend, it is what it is. Chelsea's head coach, Enzo Maresca, is on £4.2 million per year. You can do your own calculations and let me know how much would that be per month. Divide that by 12 months. 4.2 million divided by 12 months. And let me hear from you. Ladies and gentlemen, the £20 million head coach, Pep Guardiola, in a Champions League against Inter Milan. Yes. Last night, 0-0, Man City. 0-0 in the Premier League. Yes. 20 million pounds, but yesterday it was 0-0. Well, that is just by the way. And you know, guess what? If Erling Haaland was to score, it would have broken Cristiano Ronaldo's record. Yeah, of playing 104 games with over 100 goals for a single club. Cristiano Ronaldo is 105 games. 105 games and 100 goals in 105 games for a single club. Right now as we speak, Haaland is 103 games. 103 games with 99 goals. So he needed just one more goal to beat Cristiano Ronaldo's record. Ladies and gentlemen, it is what it is. I mean, he will get it done with 104 games. Cristiano Ronaldo is 105 games, right? Okay. Now, let's get to business. Serious one, of course, for that matter. Moises Caicedo's performance in our last game. We've not spoken much about it, and I want to say a word or two on that. Caicedo that we knew in Brighton. Chelsea did all that we can to get him to Chelsea, into our club last season. And I remember vividly, his first game, he fumbled. That led to a goal. Yes. But since then, he's been picking up form gradually. There are some games we'll see Caicedo perform. There are some games we are not really seeing the £150 million player that we bought. We were not really seeing him. The player that we knew at Brighton wasn't the same player we saw in Chelsea over the past season, to be honest. Nonetheless, we believe that because it was his first season in Chelsea and the price tag, £150 million, wow. The price tag, alone, it was weighing him down, was affecting his performances psychologically. Because whenever people want to talk, oh, is it a £100 million player, £110 million player, £150 million player? It weighs them down, the price tag. But the question I want to ask is it his fault? Did Caicedo negotiated Brighton's, sales price? Brighton put up their price and Chelsea went in for it. It's none of the player's business. The player's own business is to negotiate his own salary or wages. But ladies and gentlemen, you see, in our last game against Bournemouth, I observed something. When I watched that game over and over, Caicedo is beginning to box that midfield. Oh yes. I think, and I'll end it there, I think Caicedo enjoys playing with a more responsibility. When he's given more responsibilities, he enjoyed playing that to prove a point. It makes him fearless and bold. With the armband that Caicedo was handed, and bear with me, not just in Chelsea, on the international holidays also, when he was playing for Colombia during the international break, he still wore the armband. And he did extremely well also. He performed to the maximum for his national team. Coming down to Chelsea, he was handed the armband again. And it makes him fearless and bold on a field of play. Captain has positive effects on him. The captainship armband had a positive effect on him. I saw that with Ecuador, not Colombia, sorry. Yeah, I made a mistake by saying Colombia. Ecuador. I saw that with Ecuador, and I saw it again play for Chelsea with the captain's armband. Forgive me for using the word Colombia. It's Ecuador. It's Ecuadorian. Yes, Caicedo is Ecuadorian. Oh yes, he is Ecuadorian. So I saw that in a match with Ecuador against Argentina, and I saw it again play out for Chelsea with the captain's armband. Back to back with Ecuador and with Chelsea, back to back. Imagine coming back from the international break on Thursday. He arrived on Thursday, had only one training session, and played 90 minutes like a wounded animal for Chelsea. He returned on Thursday from South America, trained only one day, which was on Friday, and played like a wounded animal for 90 minutes for Chelsea. His best performance of the season for me. And I love it. Moises Caicedo. His best performance of the season for me, and I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, I will not take much time because this is your breakfast. But quickly, Madueke is now considered very important player for not only this season, but for future seasons. The feeling between Madueke and Maresca is very good, according to Fabrizio Romano. Somewhere last season, Madueke was tagged untouchable, not for sale. This season, he is now being considered as very important player in this setup. You see, there's one interesting thing about this our football club, Chelsea, right now, and our new owners. Let me tell you what. As the praise, untouchable, very important. You know, untouchable, considered important player for not only this season, but future seasons. Dear friends, you see, all these are strategies. They want to sell the guy for big. They want to sell Madueke for big. No, you are hearing it from me. I said a few weeks ago, Madueke right now is in the range of 45 to 50 million pounds. But with all these tags they are giving him now, believe it or not, now in that attack of Chelsea, we have 8 players. 8. And it is a headache for a head coach, 8 players to choose from. He can say it when you say that. It depends on the training. I think I have it somewhere here. He said, our coach saying that he told the players after the Bournemouth game that the next game could be anybody. It could be anybody starting the game. Dear friends, it's not easy to manage this sort of players in your club or in your squad. Day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out. And they are not getting the minute that they think they deserve. Especially the starting role. With Madueke, with all the noise around him right now. Trust me, unless a good offer did not come in, we're going to be using him to balance the books as always. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, the feeling between Madueke and Maresca is very good. That I know. But if Neto Pedro should pick form right now, trust me, and the same position Cole Palmer can equally play it and play it even better for me. Look, let there be a good offer. Enzo Maresca, after the Bournemouth win, he said, at the end of the game, I just said to the players, Crystal, Cole, Jaden, Jao, Noni, Madueke, Misha, that's Michaelo, Moises, Pedro. They are not all going to play all the games. All they need to do is exactly what they did tonight. After the Bournemouth game, this is what he said. He told the players, our head coach. He said he told them, Christopher Nkuku, Cole Palmer, Jadon Sancho, Jao Felix, Noni Madueke, Misha, Michaelo, Moises, Pedro Neto. You guys, listen to me. You are not going to be playing all the games. All you need is to do exactly what you did tonight. To come on as a substitute and make a difference. Ladies and gentlemen, how many players will accept being on the bench and come in every time to do, to make a difference? How many? That is where I am telling you what I'm saying. because I have been watching football for a while, and I don't watch football any longer with emotions. I watch football with my brain and my eyes, and I use my brain to analyze. For those of you who can just watch football with emotions, I will urge you to avoid that. Before I let you go this morning for your breakfast, dear friends, Antonio Caicedo on Lukaku's performance so far in the Italian league with Napoli. Antonio Caicedo on Lukaku's performances for Napoli since he signed for them. He said, "What do I think of Napoli's new center forward?" And he answered himself, "In Italy, he makes the difference even at 60% fit. Outside our country, Italy, he is rubbish." Oh yes, I agree with him. Outside Italy, he is rubbish. But in Italy, he makes the difference even at 60% fit. Lukaku. This is a fact. He said yesterday, on Sunday against Cagliari, he struggled immensely despite the goal he scored and 2 assists he gave. People only watch highlights and do not carefully study what happens over the course of 90 minutes. People only watch highlights and do not carefully study what happens over the course of 90 minutes. Dear friends, exactly what I said to you a few minutes ago, that I watch football with my eyes and my brain. I don't watch with emotions. People, some of you guys, sometimes you watch football with only highlights as the game is being played, or you watch highlights. You don't follow it intensively to analyze it well. But like he said, Lukaku is excellent in Italian league, Serie A. Even in the game against Cagliari, he scored a goal. He gave 2 assists, yet he is at 60% fit. So I'm not the only person saying it. Antonio Caicedo on Lukaku. He is an ex-player. Italian legend for that matter. Dear friends, well, my time is up, and let me quickly end it up. You see, just as I was saying about Madueke, it's very likely Moises could be sold in January, maybe on loan. It's been reported by Team Talk that Moises is desperate to move elsewhere to get more consistent playing time. Bayern Munich are still looking at him, and there is interest from Marseille. A loan move is the most likely outcome in January. So very likely we'll be seeing Moises living on loan in January as well. Dear friend, I watched Obi-Wan podcast. Let me end on that note. I watched Obi-Wan podcast and I saw our man, Gary Cahill. Yes, most of you out there who know Chelsea very well. Gary Cahill, we know him. He was a deputy to John Terry at the time. And Mikel Obi on Tell Obi-Wan podcast. He said when he arrived in Chelsea, that's when they arrived to the training ground. On the first day, they already was. When they arrived at training in the morning at Cobham, there already was Rafa out banner outside the entrance. Do you get it? Okay, let me explain for you. I know you don't get it. You see, at a point in time, once upon a time, Chelsea signed a coach coming from Liverpool, Rafa Benitez. Rafa Benitez was perceived as an enemy to Chelsea then. Because the rivalry between Chelsea and Liverpool, when he was a coach of Liverpool, there was something he said one time, I forgot it, which irritated Chelsea fans, annoyed Chelsea fans. Then all of a sudden, we got our coach sacked, as usual. We always get our coaches sacked. Even when you can be on 3rd position on the league table, 3rd. Oh yes, I witnessed before, 3rd on our league table, and you be sacked by our owner. Yes. So, by the time the players were coming to the training ground, by then the announcement was made that Rafa Benitez has been, appointed as Chelsea's new head coach. He has not yet arrived at the training ground. Rafa Benitez has not yet arrived at the training ground. The announcement was made. The player they know. But the coach have not yet arrived. They've not yet seen the coach. They came to the training ground in the morning only to see a big banner at Cobham. Big, huge banner at Cobham. Rafa Benitez out. Rafa out. The man has not yet stepped in. And they were already sacking. The man has not yet stepped in. And Chelsea fans already put up a huge banner. Rafa out. Dear friend, if you have not watched that podcast, go back and watch that podcast. You will enjoy it. Obi-Wan podcast, dear friends. Quickly, before I let you go. Rafa out. Even before Rafa Benitez step on the training ground. If you are Rafa Benitez, what will you do at that moment? No wonder the man flopped. He flopped. Honestly, even the player did not play for him. He flopped. He was one of the coaches that didn't see the road. Even Scolari, is it Scolari? No. Ivan Grant, that some of the players claim he's not a coach. Even Ivan Grant had won some games, you know, weekly. Big shout out to you guys. Sadiq Adeleke Sadiq. He said Osimhen can compete with Haaland 100%. That's your opinion, my good friend Sadiq Adeleke Sadiq. He says Sancho took Dortmund to Champions League final. Thank you very much. Yes, it was after the match, after the episode, before I recollect. Sometimes when I don't prepare some of these things, I mean, maybe through my expression, when I'm talking, some of these things comes up. It's not something I prepared. So I can't recollect the exactly what I want to say. So forgive me, not that I don't know, but because I was not prepared for it, it just came to my mind and I made that statement. So it's true, it was Dortmund in final. Sancho helped Dortmund to the final against Real Madrid. It is what it is, dear friend. Thank you so much, Sadiq Adeleke Sadiq. And if Moises says, Salon's blog, thanks for the good job. I appreciate your update. And the house now is at peace. More grace, said. And if Moises from Delta State, Nigeria. Big shout out to you. And if Moises from Nigeria. This one says, Chelsea team is becoming stronger at the moment. I hope Chelsea will cling to the top 4 at the end of the season. Madison from Kenema Celerion. Madison from Kenema Celerion. Big shout out to you. Have a great morning out there. Coach did a lot on Sanchez. Immediately he acquired his job. Oh, Sadiq Adeleke Sadiq, you again. Said the coach did a lot of work on Sanchez. Very good. I suspect the same also. That is why Sanchez seems to be performing right now for him. You know, when you believe in someone, that person will put in the best for you. That is what I'm seeing, Sanchez. All right. The next one coming from Perpetua Atta. I believe you are from Ghana. He said it is 9-2 victory for Bayern, not 5-0 victory. Thank you very much. I told you, this Champions League is more like a friendly game since Chelsea is not in it. So I'm not really following it. I wake up sometimes, I'll just go and look at the highlight or something. Thank you for that. 9-2 victory for Bayern, not 5-0. Thank you very much, Perpetua Atta. Thank you so much for that. This one says, let's just bring someone to compete with Jackson. Kudos to Sanchez. He should have been the man of the match. David from Ghana. Yes, Sanchez could have been the man of the match if not for the goal scored by Christopher Nkunku. Well, big shout out to you out there, David from GH, Ghana. This one says, sir, don't say that Jackson get position on field. Sir, Jackson can only play as a winger, not number 9. He is not mature to play in Chelsea. I'm sorry to say that. I'm Neil from Nigeria. Stay in Cairo. Neil from Nigeria, stay in Cairo. You see, Jackson's style of play, he is not that typical goal poacher. He's not. But when we talk about Jackson's positioning, Jackson helps our attackers so much. Without Jackson, Chelsea wouldn't have been scoring the kind of goals we are scoring. Go and ask Obama. Ask Obama. Even Noni Madueke, they will tell you. Most of the players on the field of play, they appreciate the work that Jackson is doing. Because he helps them a lot. Based on his positioning, he drops deep into the midfield, help assist them. Almost more than 60% of the goals that Obama scored, assists come from Nicolas Jackson. So the players on the pitch of play, if you listen to their interviews and sometimes go to their status on X or IG, Instagram, you will see them, some of their comments, their posts, you realize that they appreciate the work of Nicolas Jackson. So when we talk about positioning, it's about teamwork. We are not talking about individual accolades. Dear friend, all right. Big shout out to you out there, my dear friend from Cairo. My dear from Nigeria, Ni from Nigeria, but stays in Cairo, Egypt. This one says, Jackson is not good enough to lead Chelsea. In Mikel's time at Chelsea, Jackson can't be on the bench. It's your opinion, Frederick. I'm a babe. It's your opinion. But I've seen players that were worse than Jackson and they were on the bench of Chelsea. Oh, yes. There's this guy. I keep forgetting this guy's name. From Belgium. Oh, yes. Even there's one other guy from Ghana also. A winger. Christian Achu, that died. May his soul rest in peace. I mean, Achu is not a bad player, but he was a winger actually. But there were players that Chelsea bought. We know that these guys, some of us, we felt that they are not up to Chelsea standard, but they were on the bench. They were. Mohamed Salah, when Chelsea bought him, first season, how was his performances? Kevin De Bruyne, Chelsea bought him first season. How was his performances? You guys are so quick to forget. Well, let us not argue that out. Frederick Amabe from Nigeria, big shout out to you out there. This one says, Gala is stopping Turkish League. Yes, I discovered that after my episode yesterday. You know, they played the game only in the night. The night to that day, yes. On Tuesday night. So I didn't get that record correct. But it was Fenerbahce that was topping the table before Galatasaray played their game. So now Galatasaray is leading the Turkish League by 2 points. They are now leading Jose Mourinho's, team, Fenerbahce, by 2 points. Ladies and gentlemen, on that note, let me leave you guys. I should be back in the next hours with more exclusives and explosives. See you guys when you see me. Shalom and peace.